In this video, I'm going to talk about this new case from Corsair, the Air 5400. And while this might look like your typical large panorama style case, it actually has a very specific triple chamber design, plus a few interesting new details that are supposed to significantly improve the performance of this case. So let's talk about the design and what they did differently this time around, and let's see what this case does when you put a very high-end gaming system in it. Let's begin. As you can see, this is a very large case. It is definitely shorter than your typical ATX tower case would be, but it is also a bit wider, so you should make sure you have enough space on your desk before you go for something like this. You can get it in black or in white, and with 3 addressable RGB RS reversible fans or 3 addressable RGB IQ link fans. And even at the first glance, you can instantly get the impression that the quality of this case is very good. The panels are thick and solid, the legs it stands on are very sturdy, and the glass is curved nicely around the front as well as the back. So it definitely looks and feels like a proper premium case, which is important because they do ask a somewhat of a premium price for it as well. Behind the glass, you can see the main chamber that is meant for your motherboard and your graphics card, and behind it is a second chamber that is meant for your power supply, extra storage, and all the cables. But there is also a third chamber on the side of the case that is open and that is meant to hold the radiator and the fans of your all-in-one CPU cooler. That way, it will basically pull in fresh air through the mesh panel on the front and then instantly exhaust it to the outside without obstruction and without even entering the main chamber, which does sound very interesting and very cool in theory, but it also means that you have to water cool this case, and then ideally with a 360mm all-in-one cooler. A smaller one would look a bit strange from the front, and if you go for air cooling, it kind of makes this whole design redundant and you can just get any other case instead. On the top panel, you get a pretty unique front I/O with one 20GB USB Type-C connection, 2 5GB USB-C connections, a combined audio jack, and a power button. So I think they're trying to look forward a bit with more and more devices using USB-C only. But if you still have and use USB Type-A devices, this is definitely something you'll want to keep in mind. Opening the case is very easy thanks to its hinge doors on both sides. The hinges are offset, so if you take the panels off completely, you can easily put them back. And they're also held in place with a little screw on the top hinge, so you cannot just accidentally slide them off while moving your PC around. On the inside, the most noticeable things would be the air funnels. They're basically plastic frames that guide the air from the bottom fans into the GPU and out the top, and a similar concept is used in the CPU cooling chamber as well, with plastic guides that force the air out of the case rather than back in. The main chamber is otherwise very typical, with plenty of space for large GPUs up to 360mm in length, so pretty much any GPU on the market, a GPU holder, and the motherboard tray that supports typical motherboards, as well as back connect options from all major motherboard vendors. And if you do go for a regular motherboard, you get a simple magnetic strip that kind of closes the gaps on the side, so it all looks just a little bit cleaner. You get 3 fans by default, either RS fans like I have here, which you control via the addressable RGB headers on your motherboard, or you can get the Corsair Link version that comes with slightly nicer LX fans with easier cable management and RGB control via Corsair's own software. In the back, there is enough of space for big power supplies and there is plenty of space for cable management, so this part should not be challenging at all. But there is not that much space for storage. So you can fit 2 2.5-inch drives and a single 3.5-inch drive, but if you go for the IQ Link version of this case, the Link controller sits in the drive spot. So you will have to move the controller if, for some reason, you still want to use a mechanical hard drive. Since this is a pretty high-end case, I also wanted to build a high-end gaming system to match it and to be able to test the case properly. So I went with the Ryzen 7 9850 X3D processor in the new Gigabyte X870E Aorus Master Ice motherboard with a matching RTX 5090 Aorus Master Ice GPU. The CPU is cooled by the Corsair IQ Link Titan 360 all-in-one cooler, and I got this 64GB Corsair Dominator Titanium DDR5 memory. And just to put things in perspective, when I got this kit, it cost around 300 euros or dollars, while now the price went up to almost 1,300 euros, which is just insane. Now, to power the whole system up, I used Corsair's new HX1200i Shift power supply, and I think the end result looks very impressive, and it is definitely aimed at people who want something that's a little bit more noticeable than your typical PC. Now, there were a few hiccups while building it though. So it is a big case with a lot of space, so fitting stuff in and cable management were not an issue at all. But since this is a fairly new design with a lot of air funnels and panels that are usually not there, and an extra chamber on top of that, it took a bit of puzzling and a bit of reading instructions, which is not something that I usually do. So nothing too dramatic or something, but even for people with some experience, it will take a bit more time and effort than when you have a typical tower case. And even though it looked like a brilliant idea, I have to admit that I'm not really sold on these nylon brushes they used instead of grommets and between chambers. I mean, they looked great at the beginning, but the hairs did get messy pretty easily, and it can be hard to make them look clean and straight again. Now, we did mention this to our contact at Corsair, and he said that they will be changing the material of those because apparently I'm not the only one that didn't like it. Also, I think that for any $200 or Euro plus case, getting a proper accessory box for your screws and other extras should be mandatory. Now, this case comes with screws packed in simple one-use paper baggies that cannot be closed again, and it just feels very cheap, in my opinion. Now, keep in mind, the IQ Link version of this case does come with a little accessory box, so I just don't understand why they chose not to include it with this one. But the biggest issue I had was actually not with the case itself, but with the Aorus motherboard that I use, because when it first came in, the CPU socket had a few bent pins. So we RMA'd it, they replaced the whole socket, and then they sent it back to us. And it visually looked fine. So I went ahead and I built the whole system and I filmed the whole process just to find out that it will only boot up if the furthest memory slot is used. Only that one. The other three were just not working, which is such a shame because it would look so much better with the full memory kit installed. But you know, these things happen, and I just decided to leave it as it is and not build another system because it is very good to see and to normalize the fact that things sometimes break and they don't always go the way you want them to. So the system was working fine with one memory module, and I didn't manage to stress test it properly. So let's check out the thermal results of this case. In a pure CPU stress test, and with the noise normalized to 40 decibels at a 50 centimeter distance, the Air 5400 was doing a great job. The all-in-one cooler was getting rid of the heat easily, pushing it outside of the case through the opening on the side, while every other sensor looked like the system was in idle. While gaming, the main chamber did get a little bit warmer, but even with this 600-ish watt RTX 5090, every other temperature was well within reason. You can actually run this system even quieter if you want to, or even cooler by increasing the fan speed or by adding some extra fans to the top. If you look at the prices here in Europe, this case will cost you 260 euros for the version with the RS fans, or 320 for the version with the IQ Link system, although the black models are quite a bit cheaper. While in the US, the prices went a bit down already, and now the base model will cost you $205, while for the Link version, you will have to set aside $280. Either way, this is an expensive case no matter which region you're in, and it's a case that will have to appeal to you based on how it looks and what it offers more than anything else. Because while the quality and the performance are there, you can get cases for half the price that can handle an RTX 5090 as well. So if you're just looking for something that is decent and functional, I would consider any of the hundreds of other options on the market, including the Frame 5000D, for example. But if you do want something that is just a bit more special and has some innovations that you appreciate, or if you just really like the way this looks and you're happy to pay a bit more, you can get this Air 5400 and be perfectly satisfied. It is a really well-built case. It has no major flaws. It is easy enough to work with, though you do have to take a few extra steps here and there, and it will keep your system cool and quiet. So at the end of the day, that is actually all you can ask from a case. This video is brought to you by Seasonic and their new Focus GX power supplies. These new mid-range power supplies are pretty affordable, but they still come with all the features you would expect to see on a proper high-end power supply. They are fully modular, they are very efficient and very quiet due to their fan design, plus they come with a hybrid fan mode that stops the fans completely under 30% load. You get a variety of connections for any kind of system you have in mind, and as usual, Seasonic backs it all up with a nice and cozy 10-year-long warranty. Check it out using the links in the description below. Thank you for watching. Thank you all for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please do let me know in the comments down below what you think of this triple chamber design. And if you have any other questions or thoughts, I will do my best to answer as much as I can. Bye guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.